It is Tuesday, June 16, 2026, and this is a regular meeting of the Old Saybrook Historic District Commission. I'll start with the roll call. My name is Paul Canaran. Ask the members and staff to introduce themselves around the table, please.
Am I seated tonight?
Doesn't matter. You
Oh,
still
it's-
Still introduce yourself.
Aaron Sleep,
got to be on the
alternate.
record.
Got it.
Alan Cantor.
Lynette Watford, staff. Tamara Lori.
Tom Stevenson.
Barbara Harms.
Krista May.
Thank you very much. So I think we've got our full complement of the regular members. And we don't have applications tonight. We're not doing a public hearing. So the alternates are welcome to participate in our discussion, but not seated officially. So on our regular business on the agenda, the first item is minutes from the May 19th meeting. They have been circulated. Does anybody have comments, edits, corrections? Krista, thank you for the very thorough job.
That was great.
A lot of
I
pages.
have a couple. Go ahead, you go first.
I just said a lot of pages.
A lot of pages. Yeah, it was a lot of work, for sure. Which one did you want to start with, Paul?
I'm sorry.
Which one did you want to start with?
Oh, I'm just asking if the May 19 minutes have any corrections.
I thought you were starting with the thing. No, I don't have any.
Okay, then I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So
I
moved.
move.
Okay,
Second.
moved and seconded. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor of approval of the minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Any abstentions?
I have to abstain because I left 10 minutes early.
Okay, as noted in the minutes. Thank you, Tom. All right, so the minutes are approved. Lynette, is there correspondence?
We haven't received any correspondence, but is this a good time to discuss the letter that we're sending out, that the commission wants to send out to the new owners of the Grid Lumber Building?
Terrific, yes.
It did.
I got it, yeah.
So I'm going to give you the floor to do that. I just want to compliment Lynette on how much work she's been doing for the commission since forever, but since our last meeting, especially, there've been a lot of assignments and it's been terrific work. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so there's a draft of this letter. And
Collaborative effort.
yeah, comments are welcome.
I mean, I read it a couple of times. I think it's excellent. Pretty much covers it.
Oh,
And,
did I? I'm sorry.
and it's not too long. Like, I think it's bullets that makes sense.
One. Says,
To be honest with you, I forget. I looked at it when it came out and
There's a, did you pick up a packet?
Was there something
Right
in
no. Oh,
Here you go.
thank you.
For all the stuff.
there? There's something different there. HCC dedicated.
oh, no, you got the big, I'm sorry, you got the most recent.
Okay.
Do we want to be even more obvious about it and add a line about there may be tax credits available for you in registering? Do we want to be like, even like at the end of supporting your business goals, do we want to be even like
Where
more
did the tax credits come from?
if they register the building? Right?
You mean, well, I don't think it's eligible for the National Register, if that's what you're suggesting.
Yeah, it wouldn't be.
Not based on what I read.
No.
So there isn't much info. The historical society basically has nothing. And the only thing we have is a historic resource inventory sheet. So a lot of, so it's many buildings in town. Inventory. This is at least 10 years ago. I believe. And there was nothing remarkable about this one. It says it's been altered and does not appear to meet the National Register criteria for evaluation,
Oh,
and it's not within a commercial district.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's a nice building, but they didn't have anything,
Okay.
remarkable to say about it.
I think you worded it nicely.
Me too.
Yeah.
Something that occurred to me last night or whenever I was looking at this. Should we suggest that they contact you? So we welcome the opportunity to meet with them. But we didn't
Say, how
yet
do they?
say, yeah, how would they initiate if they wanted to do that? And would you be okay if it was a contact to you, Lynette?
Sure, that would be fine. Yes, they would, if they're thinking of doing anything, they're going to need to speak with Chris or regarding the zoning.
So where
So-
does this phone number go to?
That just goes to Alex. There's only, that's the main number, call this direct record.
So they would probably call that main number and ask for Paul, is what they would do.
Oh, and then.
Yeah, or the
Yes,
historic
it would get
district or
sent to me
something,
directly.
so, yeah, but it could be made clear so that they really realize. Just to
Yeah,
add
it-
another sentence.
It would mostly be Chris, but it could be a combo. They would have to discuss with her, if they didn't already know, what's allowed in the district, what the zoning regulations are, if they would take the building down, what they would have to replace it with. Hopefully they won't be doing that, but,
Mhm.
you know, what uses are allowed, that sort of thing. So, but I can, I mean, as far as just saving the building for, you know, historic preservation reasons, they could certainly contact me. And then,
Well, we say we'd welcome the
After-
opportunity to meet with you to discuss.
Yeah.
So who's the we? Is it,
well, I was thinking, it's certainly going to be Chris. It could also be, depends on where they are in their thinking, like, are they
So-
looking for ideas? Do they already know what they want to do?
sure, but so what would it hurt to say your first contact or something to that effect
Yeah.
would be Chris Costa,
I
860,
agree. It's
blah,
good to
blah,
put a
blah.
name in there.
Yeah,
I'm just not.
and
exactly
give them
sure
a,
who it
a
would be.
phone number, so they really realize there is somebody they could talk to.
Right, good.
Yes, so I could put my name in there.
And that's what I was about to support is your name rather than Chris, since this is coming from the HDC. And you're the principal staff
Yeah.
person for this and that, you know, that you could traffic cop it from there. But
Yes.
the first conversation is focused on the preservation aspect. And if they say, well, we're thinking about, you know, a master plan for the property, you'd certainly introduce Chris into the
Yep.
picture, I would think.
So please contact, Whacker staff to the commission to discuss.
Yeah.
Something like that, yeah. Just
Perfect.
go and give them the phone number. Even though it's at the top, just give it to them again, because people are people. What else can I say?
Funny.
Do we want to put any emotion in this letter?
Not a motion.
Mhm.
Like, the building was, historic to the fact that many decades and generations of use and, tradesmen were in there, blah, 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 blah. And, cause all we know, some guy down in, Darien has some sort of building up here that, we want to preserve.
Mhm.
There's no idea what the building represents to the community at all.
I think that's a good thought, and I just want to comment to Lynette. She had more reference in the first draft to that.
Okay.
The one thing I did was took out the references to Beard, there were a few references to Beard Lumber, and I didn't want to make it seem like we love them and we don't love you. But I think that's a really good way of doing it instead, to not talk about that specific business name, but I like what you said, so something along those
Yeah,
lines.
it's a thought. We're kicking this around a bit.
Tom, say that again?
Again,
I'll have to
you know,
rewind
it,
the
it
tape.
represents, many decades and generations of, use and, contractors in the area that often went in and had viable relationships with their former owners of many decades and generations.
Or something.
All the way from, the fire that warmed you when you went into the main building. And, the chat that you could have with, Joe Beard himself or a prior owner. And then, subsequent owners afterwards, or something to that effect. Or the guidance that you received when you went in. and you were a neophyte carpenter. Especially about building product materials.
I wonder.
You're not referring to yourself, I'm quite sure.
Did we know any history yet, more history yet?
There's nothing that we're all about.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of history out there in people's memories, but.
Mm.
Right,
we
but I
don't
mean,
have
was
access
it
to it.
always a why?
Pretty much.
I think it was continuously from business.
And
I believe.
if they could be dog owners, we could put in that many times the animal dog in there.
Tom, you're getting carried away.
Very friendly, you know.
You're getting a little carried away there.
What is Central Passage vernacular? I don't, not familiar with that term. I'm very glad you put it in.
Enter in the middle and it goes straight through to the back.
Oh.
And it's pretty symmetrical on both sides.
Great. Any other suggestions on the letter content?
Oh, it's very good.
Any rumors that John Wayne was in there, or it's too new for Lafayette to have been there?
Did Einstein need lumber?
Sure, Catherine Hepburn was in there once or twice.
Oh,
Too bad we don't have a photo of
I know, that
that
would-
standing in front.
That would be cool.
Okay, so is our, I don't think we need to vote, but a consensus that we're ready to send the letter?
Yes.
Terrific.
Would you like to sign it when it's ready? If you want us to just.
You've just done for me before. I'm good
Yes.
with that. Thank you very much.
Mhm.
Any reports?
No reports other than I just wanted to make sure that everybody has the most current regulations, because I found out that I did not. I had the 2015 and I said that in the meeting that minutes, the regulations were last updated in 2015 and I was wrong. It's 2015. So if you don't have them with you,
Yeah.
check and make sure. It's
15.
only a minor change between the two, but good to have them. Listen.
Check.
All right, then moving on to old business, the building marker project. Any update on that one?
Yes, so I was going to reach out to a variety of groups to see what the consensus was on these signs, these mock-ups. And I get a lot of feedback. Got a lot of feedback from the Historical Society, which was nice, and everybody seemed to like it. Chamber of Commerce, I did not hear back from them. First Selectman liked it. I tried to reach out to the Main Street Business Association, talked to Jennifer in Economic Development. And she said, basically, that's the business owners. It's usually not the property. So that's probably not the best group. But she did give me a whole spreadsheet of businesses, the addresses, the business that's in there, whatever contact the building has. Very little for the owners. We have to go to the assessor's office. And then that would involve a mailing. They don't have phone numbers or email addresses, like anything like that. So I did reach out to a few people that I do, well, a couple people that I do know. Like Colin Pepperton owns one of the buildings on the street. He said he was fine with it. He thought it was fake. Jessica owns one of the buildings, and I assume she's thinking about it. So, though we don't have a lot of feedback, it was positive. One interesting thing that I found out, though, by looking at the spreadsheet was really surprised to see this. Most of the buildings were built in the 1900s. So they're not as old as I thought. So if we're thinking of starting in the Main Street business area, there's really just a handful that would. Now, maybe I'm just assuming, but the style of the sign, the design of the sign to me is more like an 1800s and earlier type of thing. And I don't know if that was the intention, to put the historic markers on buildings that were, you know, in the 20th century, so, something to think about.
Well, a building that was born in, sorry, folks, I'm really tired. Built in 1923, 26 is 100 years old. That's an
Yeah.
antique.
Yeah,
I mean, I think buildings that were kind of new to us when we were young, we think of still as kind of new. But for some of us, they're not anymore.
Very true.
and there's a few that were in early 1900s too.
Okay, forgive me because my memory is bad, because I know it's been a while since we've been talking about this. And I know we were gonna sponsor like a couple every year was the plan out of our budget, right? Do we want to just start with some of the oldest oldest houses off of the little old Boston right here? Do we want to like approach homeowners for like the first couple oldest or something and offer free plaques for a couple, and then we do an article featuring, we sponsor these plaques. If you'd like to receive one for your home, please reach out to us. They cost XYZ. But then at least we've got like 3 out in the community that we started or something.
So what you're saying is we would sponsor the first 2 or 3 and then people would pay for them.
Yes, and then we do a whole article.
'Cause I'm thinking if we're
Shiny
just gonna pay for
article.
all of them.
Alan's posing with the sign, installing it in an action pose. We've got the homeowner smiling at the sign, right?
Little marketing and promotion.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then we try to do it in the, what is it, the
Events.
quarterly local magazine.
Events.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's entirely up to you guys.
I can't think of what's wrong with doing that. Seems like a good idea. You know, some
Just to
publicity.
start it and get it going.
Yeah.
Some momentum.
We have the money to sponsor the first couple.
Well, we're starting a new fiscal year,
July 1st.
July 1st, and our budget is about 2,000.
Full for programming and that sort of thing.
And some of it's committed annually.
To the ghost sign.
The ghost sign is the biggest expense, right? That's about half of the budget, is that a fair statement? Mhm. And Lynette, just as an aside, Lynette and I talked about having town council have a look at our regulations, since we're opening the regulations, trying to accomplish that in the current fiscal year.
Yes.
So we would not have that burden, so to speak, in the next fiscal year. So, we could, if they're $100 a piece, we could do several with our remaining budget.
We justify it by starting with the oldest or something and working our way through the list, offer it to the oldest homes or something first.
Till we get 3 guinea pigs.
Yeah. And just
Yeah.
justify it that way of like the first 3 yeses of the oldest homes or something.
The only comment I would make is in terms of where we focus is we have mostly talked about Main Street.
Sure.
But I mean, it's the commission's will. But that does have the greatest visibility,
Yeah.
right?
Sure. If we look at Lynette's list, I just know she was just mentioning that was a little later, but sure. Main Street.
There are a few. I had a question about the production of the signs. So we can order a sign pretty quickly, but I assume, well, who is it we'd be working?
Sign pros across from the car dealerships right there.
Oh, computer signs?
Computer signs, thank you.
Okay. Would they need to know the name or the address, whatever the language that's going on the sign first? Because if we're just ordering a sign and then they can put it on later, we can do that tomorrow. But if we need to know who's getting the sign, then it's gonna take a little longer for that communication to go back.
Yeah, but all they're doing is they're just taking that piece of AZAC and it's in the computer all set up. And then they're changing the name, circa and so forth. And then just hitting print and it cuts the vinyl that gets adhered to the piece of AZAC. So it's as easy as us changing something on our printers at home for them.
Right. So we would have to know who's saying yes to these signs
Right.
before, you know,
Yeah, and I think probably if we're doing 3 of them, like you said, or 4, whatever it is, it probably would make sense to do a paper mock-up, make sure they're cool with it.
Mhm.
And they say yes, then we have them just generate it.
Mhm.
Because they're just gonna save it as a file on the computer. And instead of printing it, they do it in the vinyl. Does that answer your question?
You're wondering about lead time.
I am, because, yeah, we'd have to identify who we're going to
Yeah, I think the turn is probably fairly quick.
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
well,
I would agree.
yeah,
Like for them, this is like 101 stuff, for the sign making.
I'm not like carving it or doing any sort of
Right,
artisan
But-
work.
Wood.
it's, send the letter out to the prospective,
Right,
and that it all takes time, and by the time we get a response, it's already the 16th. So I just don't know if it can be done in this fiscal year. I don't know if it's,
Or so we can't like prepay for the signs and like say, if they give us an estimate of it's like, nah, yeah, okay.
well, if it's, the expense is supposed to be implemented in that fiscal year. So.
So
that's
instead
the
of
rule.
just mailing out a sign and hoping, mailing out a letter and hoping for the best. Like, I don't mind whoever wants to join me. Certainly, I don't mind knocking on doors and having an example and say, are you interested in some of the older homes on Main Street College or Old Post Road? And I think that's maybe a more effective, direct way to handle it as opposed to hoping somebody gets back to you in 70 days. Because then we're sort of just looking at each other again.
Well, would Jessica want to do one on her building?
Jess will do one, Carol will definitely do one on the Timothy Pratt house.
So we already know those?
Yeah.
Well, we
I
can-
will change my sign eventually to match the town's, look as well, but I know,
For the free ones,
Is that bad if a member of our commission gets a
I don't
free
know what you
one?
think.
It looks bad.
Nancy Bell would also definitely want one on her house. So, I'm sure I could round it up in a week and have answers, yes or no, at least.
What about Frank?
Absolutely. No, I already talked to him. He definitely wants it. That's 116 College, down to the point.
So, yeah, if they're $100, it's not a big chunk of your budget, so it doesn't.
It'd be nice if we could get one on Main Street if we knew anybody. I don't know anybody who runs the businesses other than.
When
The building.
your building, when was it built?
I don't know off the top of my head. I have to look it up.
She's a commission member.
Yeah,
That's-
well, tell me, 56 Main.
I looked up most of them, 1890.
Whoa.
The old ones.
Well, and I also don't mind like sponsoring mine, so then it's not a conflict of
Right.
interest. If it's $100, I'll just pay for it.
Me too, absolutely.
And then we
That's
can
it, I mean, that's maybe Jessica would, just to get a few up
Yeah,
there.
as samples, and then we can
Right.
point to the sample.
Because I don't think we would be saying anyway that the first one, few people got them for free, right? Why would we do that?
I bet you we can handle that pretty easily, Paul, just getting people randomly that we know that would, not even commission members separately, but if we want to do that, I don't mind spearheading that.
Okay.
So where did we land on that?
Well, I'll make a suggestion that perhaps it's too much pressure to try to do it in the current fiscal year with 2 weeks left.
Yeah.
So this will be a fiscal year 26-27 initiative. We could do spade work now, but we won't buy any signs until after July 1st. Do you feel more comfortable with that, Lynette?
That's fine, yeah, I mean, it's gonna be an ongoing project, so if you were gonna try and get a couple out this year, this fiscal year, that's fine, but this is gonna be. It's gonna be ongoing, so.
Okay, you just seem concerned about trying to cram it in
I don't,
this year.
if somebody wants to make the effort to go out and go door to door and see if you can sell some, I'm here and I can.
It sounds
Do
like
I
all
turn
you
on
have to
weapons?
do is order, get the company that, it sounds like we have 3 or 4 willing, and if we're doing a few for free, we've easily got those.
Yeah.
Can somebody be in charge of gathering that information and making the order to the company? Is that what we need to do?
And doing approved. So
I
it's
can do that.
Tuesday and a week from Friday is our deadline to
Yes.
have this perch, just to put it in perspective, it's very little time left. This Friday is a town
Let me
holiday.
ask you this, is there any way to, I don't know how you do this, just tell them we want 4 signs, prepay it. So it's in this budget this year, and then we deal with the logistics of the
Getting
customization.
pulling the signs up.
Yeah.
Or like, even like Colin Heffernan, if he said he liked it, can we call him and just say, hey, we want to do one for your building? And there's one we get in this year.
If you don't think a commission member is a conflict,
Oh,
then,
right, because he's on another commission.
yeah.
Public Works orders tires and a maintenance commission.
There you go.
River, wetlands,
And
wetlands.
APA.
So that doesn't concern me.
Okay.
It's an independent action of this commission.
Okay.
So if you're going around, house to house, you think it would look better if the building inspector was with you, so you're not looking like some solicitor in
No,
general?
I got no issue with it. Been in sales for 40 years. Don't bother me.
And these initial ones are all people he.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
I know.
And his-
Live file, I can share the live file with you guys, so then it's easy for them to edit it and put anything in.
Yeah, that's all I would really need
Okay.
to send them. That, would that have the dimensions on it?
I mean, it's a real size, so yeah, I should have the dimension.
Could we say we'll make an attempt to get 2 or 3 done before the end of the year? And if we don't, we don't. It goes into next year, right? What's the harm?
No harm, just a little stress for Lynette, that's all.
It's just, I just didn't know if it was possible, but if you guys are willing to go out there.
Yeah,
Then
sure.
You guys, Alan.
I'd also need to know what they want to have on the side.
Yes, I know. That's why we definitely have to do a proof. Have we, I'm backing up for a second, have we officially decided what the style is and the size?
Yes,
Because I think I lost my.
we have
Mine-
2 size options, but the style, as I understand, I wasn't here when you guys locked it, right? But the style,
Get a better idea.
Everything-
Yeah, you were playing around in China or something.
I was in China, I think, yeah.
The bigger one's probably for a larger.
So there's 2 size options, right?
Okay.
Take that with you.
Yeah, we'll need it at some point. Thank you.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Well, in between, you know, if you heard it when I said to Alan, the public works orders, tires in advance and everything else, and they store them before they use them, so. To me, that would be similar to ordering a couple of signs ahead of time. So as far as the ethics, that's,
Mhm.
Yeah, as we get people committed, we have them available, quick, peel and stick.
Boom.
Can I just refer to the minutes of
Sure.
March, and the 2 sizes agreed were 18 by 10 and 12 by 8.
Yep.
The border is rectangular without cuts. The font preference was D on the samples. We don't have that.
But I know I did pick up the notes. I went through and tick, tick, tick. I even rewatched the minutes to make sure I picked up all the minutes.
The tagline is historic old Saybrook. The largest font on the sign should be the date.
Got it.
Yeah, I like it.
Perfect.
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, way to pull that up.
I
Well, I
know.
mean, that's the,
Impressive.
it's that kind of thing that I'm like, okay, that's gonna be referred to again.
Yes.
So
That's why minutes are valuable.
I would suggest, since this is an appropriation of funds by the commission, that we have a motion. And I would suggest, open for discussion on the part of the commission members, that we set a maximum number and not to exceed how many signs this fiscal year and next fiscal year. And if you think it's appropriate to set a minimum age of the building,
That makes sense.
whether it's 100 years or something different than that, but just per our discussion. So we have some established criteria for who we're,
I
Approaching.
suggest 3 a year. And then we make sure we use that as an opportunity to like do a little article and to remind people that we're here and to tell the story of the 3 houses, like a little blurb in the article about why these 3 are significant. And we sort of do this as a yearly thing. That's what I would suggest. As far as age, I don't know, anything pre-1940? I'm just throwing out a random number.
Yeah, so 50 years old is considered historic in a house. So do we want to go with that? Or do we want to set something earlier,
I don't have a preference.
Yeah, I know, it's,
Gosh, 50 seems so young.
I know, it's
I know.
around for that. Yeah, I mean, it's something right around the World War II zone, like fifties, forties, fifties.
Yeah, what's the requirement for the historic register is like 40, is it 1950? I think it's 1950.
It was 50 years, but I don't know.
Oh, maybe I'm wrong.
Don't
Maybe I
know.
mixed up those
I
numbers.
think-
I thought it
think
was, I thought it was 1950.
So what I'm thinking about too is I remember having a conversation, I think it was with Chris Costa about, all the homes in Cornfield Point are historic and, they're not a district and they don't have
True. It's a
designations
lot
and stuff.
later.
And it would be really good to,
Yes, there.
to encourage the historic nature of those homes.
But that's a 1920s subdivision.
Probably,
so
yeah.
it's probably
They would
100 or approaching 100.
definitely be in that.
So
The 50 years from before now was 1976.
But you're right, 50 years or older.
The building where Jackrabbits is, for example, anybody have a guess?
40s.
Later.
Close,
Yeah.
1930.
Oh, okay.
Depression. thing.
And I think the one of the ones up the street from that is, I think I saw 1938 or something like that on it.
Which one? do you
I
think?
can't remember exactly what it is, but further towards the point. I'm lucky to remember what I remember.
You are right, though. It's gonna
Doing
be,
good.
it's gonna be hard to necessarily get owners of those buildings compared to the tenants than to walk in, but so I have to work on that at some point.
Yeah, they're usually LLCs. and
Yeah, they live in, whatever, Nebraska.
It takes a little time.
Yep.
Well, I had a question. Do we want to fulfill our obligation to spend all the money in the budget, or do we want to turn money back in the budget at the end of the year? So
Good
if we
question.
have $500, we could buy 5 signs, rather than turn money back in, and then her idea was 3 signs and 3 signs. And do we want homes in Cornfield Park having historic plaques on the front of them? That was a question. That's all.
Good for discussion. Yeah.
Those are good questions.
Do we know what our budget is left?
I don't know what's left right now, and we have, your attorney looking over the rec, so that's TBD, to be determined.
So Minette, that is encumbered. That'll definitely be the current fiscal year, even if the invoice comes in July or August.
I think it's gonna happen soon, so I think it's gonna start this year.
Okay, and the firm is aware that we want to be built this year.
Yes,
Good.
Another question. When we have the town attorney come and talk to us, does he charge our budget, or does it come out of the town attorney budget?
I think it's ours.
HTC.
Which one?
HTC.
Ours.
Hours.
Comes out of our budget?
It's a line item. Professional services.
Okay, so then,
It's budgeted in already.
So maybe we do like a maximum amount of signs, like we double and say 6 with an attempt to at least distribute.
Because I
3.
feel like 3,
Yeah.
I get your point, and I really like it about featuring these homes. But there are so many in this town.
Sure. So a minimum of 3 and a maximum of 6.
So can I just, for clarification, are you suggesting we would give away 3 a year, but anyone who wants to buy them could buy them? So there's no limit on the.
Oh, okay.
That's what I would suggest, right? Because then.
Okay, I
And
thought
then
we were
we're-
giving
look at
away
what
a
we're
few
charging.
now
Maybe
and
we're
then none,
charging-
not giving
Just
any
keep going,
away.
keep it going.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
we're charging $400 and like 100 goes
But-
into the commission as.
Right.
But how do you pick who gets a
Yeah,
free
yeah.
one?
We can't do that. Okay, all right.
How do we pick who gets a free one? Just first come, first serve, and then,
Yeah.
I don't know, I think that's a hornet's nest to me.
Well, I thought we were only doing the free ones first year. to sort of
That's what I
think
thought,
about.
but that's not what they're talking about.
But you know what? The 3 signs we're talking about right now, I know the 3 people, they're not gonna, they would be gladly give the check for $100 if we can do that. Like, they're not gonna say, oh, I'm so excited to get it for free. They would gladly pay
Yeah.
for it.
That's
I
true.
don't know how that works, like how you receive a check. Is it written to HTC, the town? I don't know how that works.
It'd probably be
Town of
written to the
Old
sign
Saybrook.
shop then, right? If,
That I'd have to ask about.
yeah.
I think
Okay.
it would probably,
When they did donations for the ghost sign, it was to the town of Old Saybrook.
it was, and I think they opened a special account just for the commission for that fundraiser, and that it was closed when that was over.
But this is not a fundraiser. This is,
Well, I'll at least start the process of finding out some people that I think makes sense, and I'll do that. I'll do that next week.
Would there be any merit, given the concern about selection process and who gets a free one, to having a deadline each fiscal year? And if we're oversubscribed, the people who say they would like one, we simply do a raffle.
Sure.
They meet the criteria for age.
Sure, we pull 3 at random.
Yeah, I mean, that too could help with your
Sure.
publicity, right?
Yeah.
Photo of Aaron pulling the winning tickets out of.
Thinking you, yeah.
I'm sorry. I'll abide with whatever, but everybody wants to do, but I'm just gonna say, I don't even like limiting it this way. If people want one, they should be able to get one. They shouldn't have to wait 2-3 years because of where they got in line to apply for one. This isn't a driver's license. This isn't an award. This is just a $100 plaque on their house. And if they want one, why can't they just give us $100?
They
We
can.
order it.
Yeah, we're-
But you're saying 3 to 6, and then the next year, 3 to 6.
We're paying for it. So we might do 50 of these this year, but we're only paying for 3 to 6 out of the commission.
Okay, so why are we paying for any?
Well, I think if people don't have the means, we would have the ability to give them some. But I think in this first year, my understanding was that we were going to give some just to get it going. And that kind of got convoluted with the fact that the people that we know would want one easily, that we could get it going with, are willing to pay. So that's where things got a little mucky, I think.
Yeah.
But I think anybody can get them. We're not limiting that way. I think the amount that we're willing to give away, we're trying to limit. So that we can stay within the budget. It's just a budgetary thing.
Do we want people to contract directly with the sign maker, or do we want them to come
No.
through the HTC?
See,
Yeah, and I think that way when we reach out to them, they can say, I love it, but I can't afford it. And then we can say, oh,
yeah,
we can take care of you.
I mean, the price.
Or
of
you
gas
can
is
say,
going
oh,
down.
sorry, you're the 4th person who asked, so you're out of luck.
Well, if the budget allows, then it allows it. But I think that's the trick. I don't-
I see your point, though. You don't want it
I
to,
think it makes us look in a bad light. I'm just giving my opinion.
So we don't pay. So, okay, so then the other option is we just open it to anybody that wants to pay for it, period. Okay, sure.
That's the
Right.
simplest. I mean, we're not trying to make a business out of this.
No, but I thought it was open, like anybody who wants one can get one. The limit is only based off of the free ones.
Right, but so Barbara's just concerned about how, like, that limit on the ones that we're paying for. So like, maybe we just eliminate that and we're not paying for any, right? And so
We
our
don't wanna
gift,
pay for
our
any.
gift to the town is that we're doing
Right.
this project, right? And then whoever wants one has to pay for it, period.
We've designed it.
Yeah.
We will handle ordering. But I'm just saying, Tommy, say I want one. Say I have a little bitty fishing shack that's historic and I'd love to have one on it. But I don't really feel like I can fit the $100 in my budget. And I contact the HDC and Lynette or somebody and say, well, I'd really like to have one. And Lynette says to me, oh, well, I'm sorry, we're giving away a few, but we've reached that limit, so I'm sorry. Do you think I'd come back and want to try again next year? No way. I'd be like, that HDC,
Right.
what the heck?
Well, but I think I get the practicality of what you're saying, and I think what Lynette would do in that case is say, let me take your name and your number, and I'll reach back to you when we can get you one. But it's the budget piece. I mean, how big is our budget?
So we have
Basically
less than
$2,000.
$1,000.
Right, and it has to go
Free,
to
and if we need a lawyer
lawyers.
in the
goes
given year,
to-
we have minus.
I don't know how you would make sure that there's money unless you want to take donations from people.
Well, again, if it's free, that's what you're worrying about. If it's not, you're not worrying about it. And I don't think Lynette should have to be worrying about it.
Right.
I don't think she should have to be keeping track of free signs versus. I'm sorry, I just really do feel like you're introducing
So
a huge complication for the
anybody can
process.
buy them, but what if somebody comes and says, I want to sign, but I can't afford it? Then what, then what's the process?
Well, I think it's the same as if they were the fourth person and you say, I'm sorry.
Or maybe Park and Rec has some money, or social services has money, or somebody else in the town would like to put it in their budget or make a donation.
Okay, so what do we say if someone comes though and says I'm just trying to flush it out. So somebody
Mhm.
comes and says that they would like a sign, but they can't afford it. What's the procedure? So anybody can have a sign that wants to pay for it at any time.
So
But what does the person do that can't?
So,
afford the
Tommy,
sign?
there's a TV store. And somebody comes in and they buy a TV for $500. And they walk out with it. And somebody else comes in and says, geez, I really like to have a TV for $500, but I don't have the money. What does the store owner say? He says, well, I'm sorry.
But we're not in the business of signs, just like you said. We are
Right.
just trying to get our name out in the town. And we're
The
doing
history,
that.
we're trying to remind people of the history of this town.
Right.
That's goal number one.
Well, you all, everybody, I mean, we'll, I assume have a vote or something, but I'm not changing my opinion. I'm setting my opinion. I think you're introducing a complication for the process, a complication for Lynette, a complication even within the public.
No, I agree. It doesn't simplify it, but I'm just, do we care about having free ones for people or not?
Was the idea of a free sign for the notoriety and to get the program started.
That was the concept initially, yeah, but.
So if we just take a sign like this, and we go to the Harbor News and say, this is what's available, and if people want to come forward, and we put on the list, this is what the price is.
That would be one avenue for promoting and networking for sure.
Can I ask a quick question? Has anybody ever gotten a sign for their house or store sign? for their house? Yeah. How much? About,
I was $100.
so anybody can just go out and do that now. can't they?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
And that's the problem. If you did a snapshot of this area with 1 mile, you're gonna have 20 different signs.
everybody has different signs.
Circles, ovals.
Right. Okay.
Trying to make it consistent.
So I think this conversation begs the question, because Barbara's bringing up a good point, is do we care as a committee about people who want to sign and can't afford one? Or are we willing to set that aside and just move forward with it only being at a cost?
So you want to propose that to a vote, or how do you want to answer that question?
Well, I think it's still discussion. We're trying to form consensus around how best to approach it in a few different themes. I would think the issue with I can't afford it. I mean, first of all, Lynette, if that happens, just tell me and I will write the check, really. But I don't think the commission's in a position to evaluate, can we see your income tax return? How do we know? Right, and when a public agency is giving out money based on need, it has to have some criteria to base it on. So I think financial need is not something the
Right.
HDC can get into.
Right.
Right,
But I'm sincere,
right.
I'd be happy to pay for somebody's sign.
So I think that's the only question that's being posed is how do we want to move forward?
Yeah, so we have for 5 months been talking about this being a budget item that we would provide some free signs. I think that's been our understanding right through, and now we're at a stage of how much would we expend and what parameters we would put on it. And Barbara's expressing that she's uncomfortable with the whole concept of using any commission money for this, and I think we just try to achieve consensus among the commission as best we can. So are people finding it persuasive that it should just be a pay for opportunity and our role is strictly to facilitate? Or do we want to, I think the concept was to put some impetus behind it, try to get it going by getting a few signs out there right away.
Like goodwill.
But it sounds like we can do that anyway.
Yeah.
Contacts
Yeah,
we
the
have,
goodwill
that's the
part, I
thing.
think we can.
Well, the issue, Barbara, with the context is, I think as a commission, just saying, because we know so-and-so would do it, we paid for his, or we paid for hers. That's why I was trying to create something that was neutral. That if we're going to expend some public funds, we create an opportunity and everybody's got an equal shot at it. And if they win the raffle, they get it. If they don't, but in the same vein of saying we shouldn't give it to a commission member, I don't think we should say it's the commission member's next door neighbor or best friend who we went to first and gave a free sign to.
Oh, but none of those people are. I'm not persuaded with that.
Okay, well, I think that's solved. I think that we can take just the sign, we can promote it a million ways to Sunday without giving any away at all. So I think that issue is solved. I think the other point that Barbara brought up, which is very true, is that we facilitated it and now we have made them available to the public. I think the only last piece, which you brought up a good point, that how are we going to determine who is of need and who is not, is whether or not we care to be philanthropic about them or not. So I think the first two pieces are solved. I think it's just this last piece. If we want that just to fall off the ledge. Or
Well, to
whether or not we
Paul's
want to
point,
keep
we
it.
can't really evaluate the need.
So just as a point of reference, Essex Historical Society charges $200 for them, plus a $50 title search fee. You get a discount if you're a Historical Society member. And then I believe Old Lyme is the same. I think Old Lyme charges $250 for the same thing.
So $100 is a bargain. Plus we have a guy who'll put it up.
I think they were like 110. I'll go over and see him on
And they
Monday.
do a title search.
Because they're just, so you have to submit, for Essex, you have to submit an application for your structure because they're gonna evaluate the year and the whole bit.
Which is
Right.
weird because they don't have a historic society.
Yeah, they do.
Of course they
Yeah,
do.
they do.
Yeah, they do.
They do.
But we've got the surveys and stuff,
Yeah.
the archives, we know. And in town hall, we have the age of every.
Yeah, they must have specific criteria.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of them in Essex, a lot of signs.
What about offering them just to get the word out that these are available to certain structures in prominent locations where most people can see them? The publicize it.
The publicize it.
Does the Beard Lumber Building have a sign on it yet?
I don't think it's coming to not anytime
Probably not gonna say
soon.
beard lumber either.
No.
We put a sign on it and knock it down.
Getting a whole different sense of you tonight, Tom.
It's funny. All right, so how do we want to move forward on this?
Tell me the will of the commission.
I say we go forward with the handful of people we know. Like, let's pick the couple of people we know that are gonna pay for their own. That we do as like, and let's try to keep it to something manageable, like 4 or 5.
Oh, can we slap it on town hall?
Sure.
If they let us.
Who would pay for it?
And use that as a sort of promotional thing to get into the
And
magazine
then, yeah,
And
I mean, then the
advertise, and then
article
we
is
do an
going to,
that says, call, here's what it costs, yada, yada, yada.
yeah.
I'm good with that.
Okay, I don't think we need any vote. We're not authorizing anything and we're not establishing any criteria. We're not spending any money.
Well, I just want to say I appreciate being listened to. I don't mean to be crabby, and I probably come across as crabby, but I just don't think we want to get into a complicated process for us or Lynette or besmirch our image by the public thinking, well, we let some people have this and we wouldn't let some other people, and it could just get all messed up.
Okay, next on the list is the National Register properties. Lynette, back to you on that.
All right. So we have 8 people.
You don't have to put that.
Who are willing to have their houses nominated to the registry.
How many?
And,
8.
That's
Eight.
great.
It's a great number.
And I've been in touch with Jenny Schofield and Mary Johns. And they mostly at this point, Jenny, Mary's more the great person. She looked at all the photos that everybody sent. And her recommendation, she didn't give me an evaluation of each one. Her answer was pretty succinct. She said, I would recommend probably going with the district expansion. She said that she would come down and take a look and see what she recommended for this, or we could discuss district boundaries. And so I'm kind of waiting to hear back from her when she can come. She's gonna send me some notes that I have moved forward. The grant writing would go. We'll discuss that with Mary. So I think we're kind of waiting for Jenny to get some time to be able to come down and see what she thinks about where to draw the lines for the district.
So where are these homes?
Well, I drew them out.
Are they within close proximity
So
to each other?
4 of them are in the district, in the state historic district, South Green. So that means Old Boston district.
Mhm.
One of them is adjacent to, so
Mhm.
right there. They just have to do. There's a couple of houses along Main Street that are sort of floating there between. One is down at Saybrook Point, and she mentioned that it's possible that that could qualify as another district down there. That area of Saybrook Point, but that would be a whole new thing.
The complication is all the neighbors have to agree to it too.
Not all of them, I think it's more than 50%.
More than 50%, okay.
Yeah. So to do 2 things at once, something to do with much. So probably if you want to go forward with the district expansion for South Green, that would encompass a big chunk of those homes.
Mhm.
And she said the nomination for, the nomination that was ultimately led to the listing was pretty outdated, so she recommended having that updated.
Mhm.
So do you think we're on the right track here? Keep going with that?
Yeah, yep.
Okay, fantastic.
Till we can.
Yeah, I think that's really exciting, actually.
I think I had mentioned in previous meeting that there were 2 grants available. I think they were both 20,000. But one of them is matching, so that's a factor.
Yeah.
So maybe it's to be done. Okay. And we have to look at any fundraising or whatever we have to do to support the rest of that.
I got an idea for a sign fundraiser.
Yes.
Lynette, are you able to keep the 8 people who've expressed, the 8 homeowners who've expressed interest up to date on the process?
Yes, I will. Yeah, I've been in touch with them and I told them after the meeting, I've been off them.
Is it operating sort of as a group? Are they in concert, the owners, or are they
No, no.
one-on-one?
Completely separate.
Okay,
No, it's just corresponding.
Okay,
So,
but that's terrific. So is it email communications?
yes, most, I talk to some people on the phone, but
If you have if there are updates that are relevant to everybody, maybe group emails in addition.
to that group, you mean?
Yeah. Just to create momentum is all I'm suggesting. You know, they've indicated
I guess I could.
interest and,
I think I want to ask them first. If they want,
I appreciate your sensitivity. I get that. Yep.
yeah, some people are concerned about some things, so. I was, yeah, I could get in touch with all of them and say, do you mind if I put you on a group text so I can keep you all up to date
Yeah.
together? And if everybody's good.
Eventually if it's a district, it's sort of communal. There's going to be a vote.
Yes,
So,
at some point, right.
yeah.
Going there has to
all
go.
right. Well, that's super that you're communicating with them. Thank you. Okay.
Might help them get other neighbors interested to agreeing to be a district if they want to be a district.
Any other discussion on that topic? If not, the last item on our agenda for old business is the substitute materials criteria guideline revisions. And that includes, per our last discussion at the last meeting, some draft language for an amendment to the regulation. We create greater specificity. So we've been talking for about an hour. I'm thinking maybe let's just have an initial discussion on this topic so we can reflect on the work that Lynette did. And then we'll come back to it for a more substantive discussion. That seem agreeable to everybody? Okay. So Lynette, do you want to run through
Sure.
your thinking on this, your work?
One start, yeah. We could start with the. Form. Okay. Start with the form. So as you discussed, the request for exemption form should talk about requiring a photo so that, before and after could be compared. So we added that line.
Yeah,
Please
great.
attach photo of the existing condition of the architectural features to be repaired or altered. And then, there was a suggestion to eliminate the last ordinary maintenance. Well, this is, we added this. So instead of having it as a separate bullet point, I think, Paul, what you were recommending was to just combine it with the fourth bullet under exemptions. There were 5 exemptions in your.
No, I'm sorry, I was completely unclear in my comments.
Okay.
So what I thought would be helpful is the third bullet existing is ordinary maintenance or repair, where there's no change in appearance, design, or just. I was thinking that immediately following that would be the new one, ordinary maintenance that is in using the substitute materials. So the 2 ordinary maintenance items would be one after the other, and it'll be a little easier to understand what's the difference
Gotcha.
between the 2 of them.
So it'll still be 5. This will just become number 4 instead of number.
Yes, that's what I was trying ineffectively to say. And the other thing I just wanted to raise is, should there really be a checkbox for color of paint? Since
Yeah, we don't,
it's not there's nothing to do there. There's nothing for Tom to think about. There's nothing for the commission to think about.
it's not our purview.
Well, the only reason I can think of that it's there is because it kind of clarifies that it's not required.
So if anybody comes in, just while you're looking there, I'm gonna say, if anybody comes in and says, do I need? That's, the reg says you don't need approval for that. But having it on the box kind of suggests that, well, you need to go through this process to tell us you're gonna do it.
So in section 4 regulations, color of paint is listed. So it would probably be to be consistent with that. And if you want to remove it from the form, we should then want to remove it from the regulations.
Well, the
That
reg,
would be page-
the reg is talking about what we don't regulate.
Request for exemption from certificate of appropriateness.
Oh, so it would be both. Yes,
So we
Yes.
eliminate it from that.
if people agree with the notion here. Is it elsewhere clear that you can change the color without a certificate? Is that in,
Not specifically mentioned, but it's not.
in the statute or the ordinance possibly?
Options like
I'm guessing that this is coming from, might be coming from state statutes, but
Mhm.
I don't. Maybe not. Could just be.
Well, we said certificate of appropriateness shall not be required for the color of paint used on the exterior of any building or structure. It says in the criteria, no, in regs on page 3.
Oh,
Excellent. So we could delete it from the regulation dealing with the exemption because it is already stated.
Yeah.
In the regs.
so just to let you all know, if you don't already know this, when you revise the regulations, it has to be done in public process, so we have to do a public hearing and advertise it like that.
Okay,
No big deal.
that's a good thing.
And then the asterisks in there, you would need to change that to
That's something that's different sheet, and that will be updated, yes. Here. So, moving on.
Wait, I'm sorry, but I'm not
Okay.
clear on what we talked about before, the color of paint issue.
So that
Where you
bottom,
were combining
no,
the second and the fourth bullet?
That was my misunderstanding. The last one that says ordinary maintenance or repair, that's in yellow. It's the yellow sheet, but yeah.
I have red.
here,
Under exemptions, the fifth bullet point.
so this ordinary maintenance is going to fall here now. So it's ordinary maintenance and then ordinary maintenance.
Oh, so it's just gonna
It's just
split
gonna
these.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anytime. And the next sentence, I think there's a.
Under affidavit.
Yeah. I think you can take out that I am required. I think you could just say and to submit.
Responsibility to obtain certificates on the funds for the all other purpose and
To submit to photograph.
everybody okay with that?
Mhm.
So under record keeping, moving down, the enforcement officer is crossed out. That is also in the regs. The zoning enforcement officer can be the zoning enforcement officer or the building official, just so that there's people who are authorized to do that.
Mhm.
So is it okay to keep that in so we don't have to take her authority away?
Keep the enforcement officer in or delete it?
Keep it, she said you have to.
I think it's better to keep it because
I
if for
do
some
too,
reason the building inspector's not available, then we
right,
got.
yeah.
That's authorized to do
It
that.
could be on medical leave or any number of things.
Yes.
It's deleted on your sheet.
It is, but so these were recommended changes. I made some changes. Paul recommended some other
Oh,
edits, and so we're gonna leave that in.
Okay.
All right, so that's that.
And then, I actually have one other comment. So if you go back to where it says, I, the authorized party, right above the record keeping, says that granted by the board, but we're not really granting. Are we?
Where are you? Sunny?
Right above record keeping, where it says I authorize the party name to act as my agent.
That.
I don't even understand what that means.
So I think that granted by the board should come out.
So on page one, it refers to an agent's name. Like the certificate, the application for the certificate of appropriateness does.
Mhm.
So it's a similar framework to that. Does, I suppose you could have an agent taking care of the exemption for you.
Oh, yeah.
Right, we're not taking out the sentence, just the end part, that granted by the board part.
Doesn't even read right.
Doesn't make
Doesn't
sense.
follow the very end of that sentence where it says that.
Yeah, I think the
granted by
problem,
board.
the sentence is still weird. I think
Yeah.
it's not yet fixed.
So it's actually being granted by the building, right?
Right, we're not granting
Or-
anything in this.
Should the word granted be removed, the word approved?
You could say that granted by the enforcement officer or building official. That's who we're designating to do this, to approve it or not approve it.
So how about, does this work? I authorize the party named above to act as my agent. Okay, so it's referring to the page one where they completed who the agent is. To act as my agent in making this request for exemption, period.
And then just end it there.
Wait, say that again, please.
I authorize the party named above to act as my agent in making this request for exemption.
Well, the agent would be listed below that. The order. Right?
Yeah.
So by above, I think it's referring to page one, where the name of the agent is.
There's
stated.
applicant information, has the owner of record and the agent's name, which could be one and the same or not.
On page one.
Would it work, would this help? If it just said, I authorize my agent, it's got an initial cap on it. And if they filled out agent on page one, we know who that
Whatever
is.
you think is best.
I kind of like
Here's the lawyer.
I kind of like that as it stands, it asks for a signature from the owner and the agent.
Right, so we would keep that. We're just changing the way it reads.
Versus, oh, I thought my roofer took care of that. you know?
Mhm.
I like just simplifying it, Paul, like you just suggested, and just say I authorize my agent. But it does beg the question, why is the agent signing that sentence?
If it's somebody different from the owner.
So the agent should be signing, but not this sentence, right? Saying I authorize. So I got that there was something amiss with it, Paul, but I didn't drill it down. I was doing it real quick.
It's good. It's such a mess though. I mean, so.
I'll come up with the sentence real quick, but let's just.
Well, what you'd really expect, I mean, if we're doing this methodically, there'd be a place for the owner to sign with no agent. I'm the owner, I'm asking for an exemption. Then there'd be a place for the owner to sign again saying, my agent's gonna do this for me.
Correct.
And then the agent signs after that.
Okay.
It's worked great for a long time. Too much about this.
Yeah, so we'll just have to change that sign block, which would take 2 seconds when you're really sitting down and thinking about it.
We hereby empower Lynette.
Three sign block. One for the owner, the first
Paul,
one.
I have to go back up to the hospital when mom's up there, so I got 8:30 cut off, so I gotta
Sure.
get moving, so, yeah.
Thank you for
Yeah, no problem.
joining us and for being part of it.
Yeah, no, of course.
We're not gonna act on anything anyway.
Yeah, I know, I realize that. I will get on the sign thing next week.
You're the best.
I will get in touch with Lynette.
Okay, that's awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
But
Nice.
see, nobody ever
Take care.
really-
And
Okay.
Still
Great.
good.
And then, the other like little thing is this, right, the exterior architectural features in that last sentence.
Stop.
Okay.
There should be small, they should be capitalized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's that. Are you okay, Christine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I was. looking at-
I
Oh,
printed it,
okay.
I printed it. Computer, so over here.
That's the exterior.
So the very last sentence of the document, it says exterior architectural features are all caps, but
That's because it's the title of this form.
yeah, but it's throughout the document, it's not capitalized.
it's not capitalized on mine.
On the bottom, the last sentence.
The last sentence,
Oh, I see. Yep, I see what you're talking about. Boy, she's an eagle eye.
Since it's the main title of the form, or should
it could be,
No,
I mean, but
I would say
I
no.
would say no, because it's not really defined anywhere. It's just
No.
like that.
Yeah.
I have one other little thing on the first page.
Okay.
So in the first page where it's highlighted, it's just the highlight is great, but, I think.
that was just to illustrate the changes, that's not.
Right, that we added the repaired or altered on that last bit, but I think that maybe, if we add on to that sentence and we write features with a parenthetical S affected by the proposed work, because if you look at that first sentence where it says describe the work, erection, alteration, demolition, removal, etc. There's many repairs or alterations that they can be listing in here. So to cover all the applicable work types that we're referencing in that paragraph, I think adding the words features affected by the proposed work would make sense.
Yeah, I do too.
So it would read.
It'd be more
"Attach a
correct."
Photo of the existing condition of the architectural features to be repaired or altered, and then affected by the proposed work.
To be repaired or altered, is there any?
No, you just take that out.
Right, so it would be architectural features affected by the proposed work. That-
It made sense to me either way, so.
So that,
So,
that covers all of the
Right.
possible work types that we referenced in there. not just repaired or altered. It could be demolished,
Mhm.
which is not repaired or altered.
But speaking of that, I'm glad you're focusing on the sentence. Is it right in a request for exemption to refer to the prospect of
Demolition.
erection, demolition, or removal? Probably not.
Well, so if you're replacing a roof, you're gonna demolish the
The
current
current
roof.
I don't think that's the common, I mean, the common understanding of demolition is I'm tearing this house down, not replacing a roof.
Well, and those are just examples.
But it's suggestive of being able to use the exemption for something
Right.
when really it's repair
Right.
or maintenance.
It really, I don't know if the examples even need to be in there. I mean, describe the proposed work to be done on the exterior architectural features of the building. I don't know if we even need the examples. To your point, it kind of does muddy the waters.
Mhm. Yeah, that
It's
makes
good with
sense.
removing the examples in the parentheses.
Yeah,
Hang on a sec. So one of the things that qualifies for exemption is anything that's not in the public view. Could that be a demolition? If it's not in the public view, if you can't see it from the road to the river, then it's, doesn't have to get.
so I don't want to really make things more complicated and difficult, but here's something that happened, and you will relate to this. We had approval from this commission for all these renovations on our house. And when they got to what we call the mudroom, an L on the very back of the house, there was so much rot. It was very dangerous. And that was not part of our application to demolish that. And Tom Lucas, who was the building inspector at the time, came out to look. Our contractor contacted him immediately. He came out, he said, take it down, and just gave us an exemption. That was a demolition. They demolished that whole section of the house.
So we can keep.
So,
the-
Well, taking the parentheses out doesn't change the outcome.
I'm just throwing it out there as that was an instance where there was a demolition.
Well, there's specific language on the next page as to circumstances where certain things might occur, and that's the basis. The parentheses are never going to form the basis of a decision.
So is the question, are we leaving the parentheses in or out? Is that the question that's?
I like your idea of taking it out.
I don't know if they, so I think that the deeper question is, does it add, do the parentheses add value to this application? Because I would
I don't
think
really
that
think so.
someone coming to do it probably has read the regs, has talked to Tom,
Well, the work is the work.
right?
I don't think we need all those 4 words. I mean,
Right.
even then it says et cetera.
I agree with
What's
you.
et cetera?
Right, so let's just take it out.
Good
Up to
suggestion.
you.
Okay.
All right.
That's all I had.
Are you sure?
Right, so this was a good close look. I think my suggestion is that we end our meeting for tonight and come back to it. There's still a lot of detail on the other pages,
Mhm.
the reg itself
Substitute
and
material.
the substitute materials page. So I got a question for you about our schedule and process. Thinking perhaps if we don't have applications in July and or August, that the commission might take a summer break. We would prefer to forward them on. It all depends on applications, of course. But if there aren't applications, how do you feel about having a vacation?
I love.
For it.
Okay, is everybody good with that?
So when does that start? Does that start next month?
Yeah, so we would have meetings in July and August otherwise.
Right.
Do you want a motion on that?
I think this is a consensus item. And it doesn't feel like there's anybody who's wants to veto the idea, so.
Probably Tom does.
Vacation.
Well, we're wordsmithing more.
Okay, so I cannot guarantee the vacation because if an application comes in, we will meet.
Get 2 out.
Well, let's.
We'll get 3 on one night.
Up and down the street, Tom, just save it,
Yeah.
save it for September.
I think the house across from us is under contract, so,
I saw heard a rumor about that.
yeah, so that means we'll probably be here. till-
They've got a bunch of planning to do. I would
Yeah,
think.
they're not gonna be ready. for
Well,
any-
thank you, everybody, for excellent discussion
you.
tonight.
Thank you for your, again, your excellent leadership. You really
Thank you.
nail it.
Motion to adjourn?
Motion
Yes.
adjourned.
Yes, okay, without objection, we're adjourned.